It's Jordan Mulligan from the Mulliganbrothers, and today's interview highlight is with Adam Ocean Walker, talking about committing to a goal and using this to get you through a task. Today's video was sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can now buy the Inspired Change t-shirts, the Hardest Work in the Room t-shirts, and the journals. But before that, let's jump into this amazing piece of knowledge from Adam Ocean Walker.
That swim was an interesting one because when I arrived, I was supposed to have 5 days of getting used to the time zone difference, because there's I think it's about 11 hours different time zone, 18-hour flight. And I arrived there at 2 in the morning. At 7 in the morning, the pilot rang me and he said, "We're going tomorrow." And I said, "Oh, what do you mean we're going tomorrow?" Apparently it's over 20 knots wind, which is very high. You wouldn't go out in the English Channel over 12. And he said, "Oh yeah, but it's getting worse later on." And this was my holiday, so I had a normal job, so I sort of had a window of 10 days, so I had to make a decision, otherwise it doesn't happen. And I always, if ever I was given a 50-50, I'd made an agreement with myself, I've got to go. It's that deal again, don't show the ocean weakness, go, "Oh, I'll wait till it's perfect," 1-0 to the ocean. So if it's 50-50, you've got to go. So for me, it was about sort of committing to that and really going for it. And what happened was we met at 3 in the morning. This was 24 hours after I landed, 18-hour flight, time zone difference. I was 2 hours on the boat. I remember getting changed, ready to jump in, and the pilot said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, we're starting on." He said, no, not until it gets light because of the sharks." And then he told me every shark story that he'd ever come across. "Oh, I remember the last guy who tried this swim, and a cookie cutter shark came round and bit his calf, and we had to hold his calf together, and it came round again, tried to bite his chest." And I was like, I don't really want to hear this story when I'm about to jump in and do the swim. But when I jumped in and started, it was interesting because I was so tired for the first 4 hours, and pure stubbornness got me to 4 hours. But my arms were so heavy, lack of sleep. And then I got to about 6 hours and I felt a bit better. I felt like I'm into the swim, because normally that 6-hour mark is where you feel like you've actually done something. You've actually kind of started the swim at 6 hours, because you could do 12 or more. And then what happened was I had a shark unit around. I had this device that lets off a sonar, and around about 8 hours, the guy told me we'll have to change it because the battery will run out. So he gave me this thing. So anyway, the light went red, which meant it ran out of battery. So I came into the boat and I was to replace it, and he passed it me down, and he said, "I remember the guy who gave me this said, be careful where you hold it because it's electrical impulse." And as he held it down to me, I put it in the water, tried to put it on, I started getting electrocuted in the water with this thing, which actually woke me up. So that was a good thing in a way. And then when we went to 9 hours, I remember seeing 9 hours into the swim, I was 3 miles from finishing. I heard him say on the radio, he's going to break the world record. And then I started to go as fast as I could. And after 3 hours, I looked and I thought, I'm further away than I was, after 9 hours. But I kept with it. I thought, don't let any demons come in. And I said, am I further away than I was before? And they shouted, well, the tide's been against you for a while, but don't worry, it's going to change. This was my training partner. I thought, I don't know where I believe him or not, but I'll just kind of take my time for a bit. That's what he said, just kind of take off the gas. I then went sideways for another 2 hours, so I'd done 5 hours, and then it started to get dark. And I remember what he said about, at the start, don't go when it's dark because of the sharks. Now normally, only a few people in the world have done this swim, and they get them out in the dark because of the sharks, but I was so close, he left me in. We brought a kayaker in with me to spot for sharks and to keep me safe. And then within about 5 minutes that he was in, I suddenly, bang, something hit me, and I thought, what's that? And it was a burning sensation. It was like I'd been scalded by a kettle. It was just agony. I'd never had pain like it. And I kind of just pulled out, and I pulled these tentacles in my hand, and I had one massive one, 12 inches inside my leg, pulled that off. And I was just instantly burning. And the thing in this sport is you don't want to yell or show weakness, if you want to call it weakness, or pain, because they'll get you out because of safety. But it was like somebody had possessed me. I couldn't help it. I was yelling. I was like, ah, And I said, oh man, the kayaker was saying, what's wrong? And I said, something has stung me. And he said, it's either a box jellyfish or Portuguese man-o-war. If you start to hallucinate or labour breathe, I've got to get you out, he said. And he was really worried. And I was sort of yelling whilst trying to reassure him at the same time, like, let me carry on. So I was going, it'll be all right, I'm okay, don't worry. So this happened, and then I just remember being so confused because every training session I've ever done, I've completed. I wanted to get in winning habits, completing it. So I didn't know what it was like to not finish. My brain is just completing each task, setting yourself a task, completing. But when this happened, and bearing in mind I was 3 miles from finishing, I was going to break the world record 5 hours ago, and now I'm going sideways. Now I've been stung by a man-o-war. Everything got thrown in my head, and my head instantly said, it's over, forget it, you're finished. And I was confused with that thought. And this is the thing with pain. Pain is there to remind you to, that it's uncomfortable and to get you out that situation. And I sort of tried to talk to myself, and I always talk about the devil and the angel, and the devil at this point was huge, saying, let's get you out of here, let's get you pain-free. And the angel is maybe this big, tiny, saying, stay in the game, stay with it, find a way. And so what I did was I thought, let's make a deal with myself like I've done all the other times in training. Let's swim for 1 minute. Everybody can do something for 1 minute, no matter how much pain you're in. That was my deal. So I tried to swim for a minute. I could barely be flat in the water. I was in so much pain. My legs were going down towards the seabed, and every time I swam, I touched my stomach from the pain of it. I stopped after 30 seconds, yelling again. The kayaker's beside himself. I then said, look, he said, what do you want us to do? They passed me an antihistamine pill. I'm not allowed to touch the boat. The kayaker gets it in a bottle. I take it for the sting. And then I start to vomit for about 7 minutes. And he says, that's a good thing. That's the poison coming out of you. And he tries to reassure me. I finish being sick, carry on, and I try another minute. I last 30 seconds again. At this point, I think a minute's not long enough because I can't even do 30 seconds. So I need to find a better plan, stretch myself. So I said, okay, third deal. The boat is 30 meters ahead of you. Get level with the boat. When you're level with the boat, just go past it. Whatever you do, swim past it. It was the hardest 30 meters that I've ever done. I was 13.5 hours into the swim, and I dragged my torso, basically like, it wasn't even a swimming stroke at this point. They leant over the team that was on there, so I had a couple of friends on there that helped me, and the pilot went to lean over, and I swam past them. I sort of smiled, I sort of grimaced to smile because I had this thing of while you're smiling, physically you feel better, so I try and smile through the pain. And I could hear them saying, what's he doing? Well, I think he's going to continue. So I carried on. And then my body went into shock and my whole body started shaking. And I started visualizing any motivational CDs. I was very much into motivational stuff. So I heard a lot of this, kind of positive energy and go for your dream, and pain lasts for a minute, success lasts for a lifetime, and all those things going through my head, and all these Rocky quotes, any films that I could grab hold of which was positive. But the thing is with pain, that lasts for a second and the pain tries to take over. So I was battling with positive thoughts and the pain of it. And then what I did, I sort of broke it down. I thought, swim for 60 strokes, let's count 60 strokes for a minute and let's count it for an hour. So I started doing strokes as well as positive thoughts to try and block out the pain. And I said to the kayaker how long to go, and it was an hour. And I thought, I can't do a minute. How can I swim an hour? I can't even do a minute. And I thought, yes, I can. I'll count 60 strokes for an hour. And when I got to an hour, I said, how long to go? And he said, 20 minutes. And I did another 20 minutes. I said, how long to go? Another 20 minutes. And this went on for 3.5 hours. And till finally, I was faced with some rocks. And the kayaker said, Adam, follow me. I said, but you're there, the beach is there. He said, no, it's too dangerous, follow me. I ignored him, and there was all these rocks coming out the ground. I scraped my leg on a rock, I had blood coming out my leg. And I remember standing on this rock, looking at the beach 10 meters away, and I put my goggles up. Over 17 hours I've been swimming. The boat had gone because they couldn't get in because of the rocks, and I was there by myself, and I had this surreal moment where I thought, I've got 10 meters to go. I've got all these sharp rocks. You know, maybe I can fly over there or something. How can I get there? I didn't care at this point, and I just scraped myself over all the rocks, and I got out, and I had all these lacerations. I had blood coming out my leg. My back of my throat was so swollen that it was choking me. The thing at the back of your throat, that was going down my throat for the last 2 hours, and it was trying to choke me, so I was having to move my head as well as shaking with the pain. And the national press were there, and they put a camera in front of my face, and I thought, I better say something motivational now. And I went, pain lasts for a minute, success lasts for a lifetime. But I said it like, pain lasts for a minute, success lasts for a lifetime. Somewhere on YouTube, please don't try and find it. Very embarrassing. But I'd been saying it over and over again to myself, and there was this lady on the side, and what I hadn't realised, this lady who was familiar with the channel, she was a swimmer, she'd been communicating with the boat, and the boat kept trying to go to the shortest point, which cost me 5 hours. And in the end, because he didn't want to land his boat further down, he said it was too dangerous, she had to flash her lights, and we followed the lights, which meant that I should have finished in 11 hours, and it took me 17 hours. By this lady basically not giving up and saying no to the pilot. So I'll always feel indebted to, she's called Linda Kaiser, a famous Hawaiian swimmer. And she was there on the beach, never met her. And she went, you don't know who I am? And I said, no, but I've never been so pleased to see someone. Gave her a big hug, and that was it. And when I got back to the hotel, the only thing that stemmed the pain was warm water. I thought it was a normal jellyfish, so I was trying ice and vinegar, but a Portuguese man-o-war is actually not a jellyfish. It's made up of different organisms, and how it feeds is it paralyzes its prey, and that's how it takes in food. And I was in so much pain that night, 7 showers. So I remember phoning, and I was on the phone to my mum, and she said, oh my God, what's happened to you? We thought you were dead. And I said, no, I'm not. And she didn't even ask me whether I made it. She was like, oh, God is so worried about you, just let this be the last. I was like, Mum, there's 7 of these, this is the 4th one. Put Dad on the phone, he's like, brilliant. But I had the shower, came out, agony, and I literally sat in the showers, no bath or anything in the hotel, and I was just literally shower after shower all night long. Didn't sleep anything that night after 17 hours. And then I was sore for about 2 weeks, could hardly eat anything. So yeah, it was pretty extreme. But I remember, and the key point, after the 7th shower, I looked up, I lay on my bed, and my body was shaking, still with the pain. And I thought, the pain will subside, but the achievement will be there forever. So just think, Adam, when this pain goes away, what you've done, and what will ever stop you again. And I remember on that last part when I was swimming in, and what kept me going, part of what kept me going was, I thought, what will ever stop me again in swimming? And then I thought, what will stop me in my life? Because a traffic jam and someone upsetting you is not going to match up to a Portuguese man-o-war sting, losing feeling in your spine, and nearly going paralysed. So that gave me complete perspective.
Adam Ocean Walker, I think one of the greatest endurance athletes. What he has done and what he has gone through, his whole story, is incredible. And for him to talk about mindset and how to get through these journeys and these tough times is wisdom and knowledge that you really need to listen to. If this connected with you, go follow Adam on social media. It's all linked in the description. Thank you for watching. Go share this with other people as well. Today's video was sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can now buy the Inspire Change t-shirts, the Hardest Worker in the Room t-shirts, and much, much more. And it basically helps. All the proceeds go to helping this happen so we can provide content online to you guys and make the documentaries and the films. So thank you. Thank you to everybody who supported us. And also you can become a channel member and producer of the show with the join button down below. It helps support this. So thank you again to those people. If you want to see what I get up to on a day-to-day basis, go follow me on Instagram at Jordan Mulligan Brother. And yeah, go inspire some change today. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.